The woman was driving him crazy. Sam Garza watched Tori McCade greet her guests as she walked the circuit around the big yard at the back of her mother's sprawling old house on the Diamondback Ranch. She'd thrown a huge retirement party for Doc Pritchard, whose veterinary practice Tori had taken over. Seemed like every living soul and his dog, located in and around the small town of Salt Fork, Texas, had come to bid farewell to their beloved veterinarian of 40-some-odd years. For one split second, Tori glanced over her shoulder and caught Sam's gaze from across the yard. She quickly looked away, but not before he saw a telltale blush stain her smooth satin cheeks. Sam knew firsthand how smooth those cheeks felt beneath his fingers and lips, knew how smooth and silky the rest of Tori's body felt and tasted. He blew out a pent-up breath and chugged back the last dregs from the long-neck beer he'd been nursing for the past hour. How in the world had he fallen in love with a woman 10 years his junior? And why in God's name had he waited for her while she'd gone to school to get her degree in veterinary medicine? Never in his life had he waited for a woman. Then again, he'd never fallen in love before either. But 4 years? He must have been out of his mind. Certifiably insane. Loco. Nuts. There was no other plausible explanation.
Hey, Garza. Need another beer?
Dallas McCade walked up and thrust an ice-cold long neck at him.
Thanks.
Sam tossed his empty bottle in the trash barrel, then accepted the beer from Tori's oldest brother. Twisting the cap off, he took a long pull of the biting brew, keeping his eye on the man who stood beside him. No one in town was aware that Sam and Tori shared a past. Hell, everyone in Salt Fork thought he was just an auto mechanic working at Kincaid's garage. Sometimes he felt like he was in the witness protection program, keeping secrets and living beneath a cloud of lies. No one suspected he was anything other than a mechanic, but some folks certainly speculated about him and Tori. 4 years was a long time to keep a secret, and no way in hell could he always hide his feelings for her completely. Tori had wanted to keep their relationship under wraps while she was away at Texas A&M. She'd said it would be simpler that way. She had to focus on her studies and couldn't let anything distract her from getting her degree. And Sam had been a definite distraction. He'd moved to Salt Fork while she headed to A&M. He hadn't liked the arrangement, not by a long shot, but living in Tori's hometown had allowed him to be near when she'd visited her family during the holidays. Besides, he'd had his own agenda for uprooting his life and relocating to the sleepy little West Texas town. Dallas motioned toward his sister, who stood across the yard talking to Doc Pritchard.
I bet you're glad Tori has finally finished school and come home where she belongs.
Sam nearly choked on his beer.
Hey, you okay?
Dallas thumped him on the back a little too enthusiastically.
I'm all right, just went down wrong.
Sam stepped away from Dallas. So much for keeping his relationship with Tori under wraps. How many more people had guessed the truth?
Of course I'm glad Tori's back. Everyone's glad. But some more than others.
Dallas said softly, staring intently at Sam. Sam deliberately held the man's gaze for a long moment. He had nothing to hide, nothing at all. His intentions had always been honorable. It was Tori who'd put the brakes on their relationship. He took a sip of beer before replying, I'd say her family would be the happiest because she's back. Besides Doc, that old man is chomping at the bit to retire. He can't wait to take to the road in that new RV of his. Dallas cracked a smile.
I have a feeling Mrs. Pritchard will be the one chomping at the bit after spending a few weeks trapped in that bus with a husband, 3 cats, and that big dog of theirs.
Sam lifted his long neck in a toast of agreement.
Don't you know it?
Dallas clinked his bottle against Sam's.
Here's to the lovely ladies in our lives.
He took a long pull from his long neck.
I'd watch your back if I were you, Garza.
Sam's grip on his beer bottle tightened. He didn't like where this conversation was heading. Didn't like it one damn bit.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Dallas narrowed his eyes.
It means I know what you're up to. Watch your step is all I'm saying.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.